Part 5 of When You Were Threatened to Steal Information from a Ruthless Cold Mafia who was known as a Reaper. Author point of view Taehyung put more food in Kyle's plate. Kyle, I am already full hang. Why are you not eating, Jan? You avoided Taehyung. When he set his eyes on you, it was an ideal view of family. You, Kyle, and Taehyung having dinner on the table. But what happened an hour ago was unforgettable. Victor was going to you. Kyle was in danger. Taehyung saved you too, and now he knows all. You were surprised how Kyle had been holding this. Taehyung's love and the latest incidents made him strong. He was always a premature child. Jean, I just don't feel like eating. Kyle, I want to sleep. I really missed my bed. Taehyung laughed and on his forehead. You left your seat to take him to the room. The maid will take him. How was it possible that he would let you go? The, your sister and I have a lot to talk. Will that be okay? Shan, how will he sleep alone? Kyle, don't worry, I am a big boy. Good night. He went with the maid, and the air of dining room was choking you. Rehang also stood tall, not a friend or admirer, but a reaper was approaching you. Ta, come to my room now. He walked past you and you let out the breath you were holding. When you entered, he was walking and stopped when he saw you. His tie was gone and cuffs of his shirts were folded. Ta, come in. You took two more steps. He headed to you and closed the door, your heart thudding when you heard the lock clicked. A shock jolted through you when he put his hand on the small of your back and guided you to the center of the room. Ta, mind telling me what actually you and Victor were planning? Shan, he blackmailed me that. Ta, I asked about the plan. He walked across the room. You swallowed the bubbling in your throat. He knew all, but wanted to hear from you. Jan, he asked me to provide information about your team members. He was finding something in the drawers. Ta and Jan, I stole data of your mission, but I was doing all this because Victor threatened me to hurt Kyle. His hand stopped shuffling. Ta, you are giving excuses, Jan. His words flickered anger through you, and you felt like exploded. He returned to you. Jan, excuses? My brother was at the point, and you call that an excuse. Stepping towards him, you yelled, Jan, sure you will, since you don't know what family is. His grip tightened on the thing he was holding. Jan, you are a reaper who only knew taking lives. How would you know that what it is to sacrifice for the family when you grew up widely without anyone? After letting them out, you realized the harshness of your words. But so what? You were hurt too. Not another word, John. You betrayed me, hurt me, played with the trust I had on you. I will tell you what I do with the people who go against my wishes. He tightly caught up your wrist. Then you noticed what he was holding in his other hand. That was a tool with sharp edges all over it. Your heart pounded in your. Will he hurt you? He cannot. He saved you from getting hurt. How can he? He pulled you inside a basement. Smell hitting the back of your throat. John, they hung. He stopped and left your hand. He was wearing the weapon in his fingers. It looked like a fist with needles planted on it. A person was tied on the chair. The light was dim, and when you focused, that was Victor. He looked beaten. Taehyung headed to him and pulled down the blindfold from his eyes. Victor, Taehyung, I didn't do any wrong to you. Ta, really? Ta, what about her? He stepped aside and Victor's eyes fell on you. Victor, she is a All that, your eyes widened when he screamed horribly. Taehyung gave him the first punch. Left side of his face was dark. Didn't you send her? Victor. She herself came to me and said that you her. She asked for money and promised to give information. You shake your head. His lies scared you. Taehyung turned his head to you and sweat made a layer on your body. Jan, he is lying. I never did that. Will he believe you now when you had lost his trust? Victor, why would I dare to be on bad side of a mafia? She was confident to scam with your feelings. I believed her and gave her money. Jan, no. Why are you lying? He is making up all this. You stumbled to Taehyung and clasped your hands on around his arm. Jan, he kidnapped us and blamed. Taehyung removed your hand and leaned to Victor. Ta, you are at your end and still making up stories? You sighed. Ta, Kyle told me about you before she came to my house. How could you forget about him? He was also present there. Victor, please. He again punched him. You took a step back when he was not stopping. Victor's were ear piercing. Taehyung pulled you forward, his eyes red and chest heaving up and down, and your pulse quickened. Ta, watch and keep it in your mind. He again hit, and you were at the edge of throwing up. This was more scary than when he, George, and Ellie. Victor was now unconscious, but Taehyung didn't stop. Please stop. He threw away the venomous tool and looked down at you. You fell on your knees. Shan, I cannot see this anymore, please. He pulled you up and your body. Ta, he heard you. I am returning it back to him. Was that for you? Then why his eyes were not like before? You did not see any affection that he always had for you. He brought you back to his room. You let yourself hit the floor when he left your hand. Ta, that could have been you to receive if you had backstabbed me. Shan, I told you I was blackmailed. Ta, that doesn't make you any less, Shan. What do you think you are? Getting on your feet, you yelled, your legs trembling. Shan, you should be the one to be blamed. I suffered because of you, because unfortunately I knew you, because unfortunately you were good to me, and throwing daggers with your eyes, you pushed him. He sat down on the bed. Jan, my fault was that I considered you my friend. Shame on me that I expected something from a man like you. You stopped to take deep breaths. Jan, you ruined our lives, and here you are blaming me, talking about backstabbing and loyalty. Your throat was parched due to all shelling. He was just staring at you, pouring out more aggression. You walked out, and he did not stop you. Next morning, you were pulling Kyle, who was persistent to stay, and were calling Taehyung to come. Shan, Kyle, we will go to our home. Kyle, we don't have our home. That reality stabbed you in your heart, Jan, and you come with me. Ta, what's happening here? Kyle, Yan is again leaving the house. She cannot learn from her mistakes. You glared at him that he didn't even notice. Yan, Kyle, we cannot stay here forever. Kyle, can we not hang? Ta, you can, buddy. You held on Kyle's arm. Yan, we will leave. Kyle, no, no, no. Yan, Kyle, you raised your hand in the air but stopped. Taehyung twisted his hands while looking at you unpleasantly. Kyle looked at your hand and then at you. Tears gathered in his big doe eyes. And you never raised your hand at him. He get free his arm. Kyle, I don't like. Your lips parted when he ran to Taehyung and he lifted him up. He was now crying. Taehyung patted his head while passing Calm down, Kyle. It's all fine. Do you know why your Nuna is taking you out of this house? His voice calmer than ever, and his gaze fixed on you. That has something strange, but you failed to decode. Kyle, why? Rubbing away his tears, he asked innocently. "Duh, because we are getting married. Me and your Nuna." Kyle, what? Really? He yelled happily while your breath hissed. "Duh, yeah, go for a few days and then you will be back here. Duh, forever." Shock crackled you. Kyle stepped down. Sean, Taehyung, what? Kyle, I love you, Nuna. You are the best, and Taehyung is more best. He wrapped around you, but your head was hammering with his words. Getting married with him. What is he planning now? You were glaring at him like you want to burn him with your glares, while he was smiling innocently. To be continued. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Stay safe and healthy.